It depends on how severe the heat damage is, because if you've only flat ironed maybe once, okay, I say give it 6 months and see how much of it you're able to get back. Because if you've done it once and you notice after your first shampoo, you know, your hair is a little bit saggy, your curl pattern is a little bit saggy, you might want to try a clarifying shampoo or doing a vinegar rinse, something that can help get whatever buildup and product may be in it out. Usually by the time someone comes and they have heat damage, it's usually pretty far gone, and you have to start all over again like you're transitioning if you want curls. If you don't want curls, then that's fine. You just rock on. But if you want to have curls, you want your curls back, you have to take care of them. You have to guard the curls. Protein treatments can sometimes, again, it depends on what stage a person is in. They can be helpful, but you also run the risk of making your hair a little bit too hard and brittle. I usually go with moisture over protein, but if it's gone, it's gone. If it's permanent damage, you can do whatever type of treatment you want, and you will not see that curl again until you grow some new ones out of your scalp.
So what she's saying, these girls, they need to cut this straight ends off.
Well, you said it, not me. Well, if you want to keep your edges, you must be kind to them. So you have to choose styles that protect not just the middle of your hair, but your edges as well. That means, ladies and some gentlemen, if you are going to get extensions, do not, quote me on this, do not go to someone who is going to have your edges snatched. When you come too close to the front with very, very tight braids, you're actually pulling the hair straight out of the scalp. And sometimes you can damage the follicle, and that becomes permanent. And there is no regrowing it after that point if you have some scarring underneath, or you subject yourself to going to a dermatologist and getting these very painful shots. And that can be avoided if you just take care with your styling. There are some natural remedies. I always give people different options. I do henna, or I use henna. There are a few herbs you can use that can help promote, stimulate hair growth. But very specifically, hemp is a growth stimulator. In my line of products, we carry a bar called the Mojito, and it has hemp, vitamin E, sage. Those are growth stimulators. Also, I want you to get you some vitamin E oil, some black Jamaican castor oil. Those are both very thick oils, so we're going to use them sparingly. We're going to massage them in the area where you have hair loss. Another alternative is to also use biotin, or take biotin, which is a supplement. We're going to up our water intake. We are going to be mindful of our diet, just things you should do in general anyway. And again, you heal from the inside out where hair is concerned. When it's really bad, I will often refer someone, sometimes first refer them to the dermatologist, and then let them decide, do you want to go that route? Do you want to try this route? And then there's another product that I use as well called Clinicure, and they have a rescue product called Advanced Thinning Rescue. It's used in conjunction with the Cleanse and Nourish for natural hair. And pregnancy hair by itself is not fun, because you have like all this rapid hormonal stuff happening, and the hair just like sprouts like weed, and it gets really thick, and then it gets long, and so I mean a whole lot is happening. And then I tell people, this may not be permanent. That hair that came may leave, and I say we can kind of stem the tide. Prevention is really the best thing, so I always start there. That means that after giving birth, and I'm pretty sure healthcare practitioners will tell you the same, keep taking the vitamins. Don't stop taking the prenatals, because the baby is pulling a lot from you, and the baby is going to get what it needs from wherever it has to take it. After you give birth, and particularly if you're breastfeeding, the baby is still pulling from the mom, and you have to make sure that you replenish whatever you take out. So you have to stay on the prenatal vitamins. And if you've gotten off and you notice some thinning, get back on them until things balance back out again. And it can help you avoid the postpartum hair loss, at least where it's around the edges. And sometimes it'll help it to come back if it's early. I have people who wait like 2 and 3 years, and by then it's just gone, and they keep these permanent thin spots. They weren't aggressive in dealing with it, but it can come back. Most of my moms who've had it, their hair is growing back. It comes back.
Okay.
That's a medical question, and I would refer them to a dermatologist who specializes in African American hair.
Okay.
There are triggers for eczema that are diet related, and since I am not a medical doctor, I will not talk about that on camera. I do help my clients, if I can, with some of the potential triggers and how to avoid certain foods. And then to help them deal with the itching, you can do an apple cider vinegar rinse. That'll give you some relief. But I would definitely say see a dermatologist. You know what? Before there was a name for that, back in the day, before this was all fashionable and trendy, I remember having shorter hair and I could jump in the shower, wash my hair, put some conditioner on it and roll out, or just wet it and put some conditioner on it and roll out. But in no way did I think that I was cleansing my hair. Plus, co-washing is akin to wetting your skin and putting on lotion. Right? And that's pretty much what it is, because you're not cleansing it. I can get a cloth and wipe down my wet skin and then put some more lotion on. Eventually, I'll get a buildup of lotion.
Okay.
You know, or I'll have that dead skin still sitting there. Anyway, similarly, your scalp needs to be cleansed. And whether you do it bi-weekly or whatever you choose, it needs to happen. So to never cleanse is not a good thing, because you can get bacteria developing, especially if you do like a lot of wet styling and you have a lot of hair. You can actually have a little mold in your hair. There are a lot of things that can happen that you don't want if you're not cleansing properly. So, you know, as a natural hair care practitioner, I wouldn't bring someone into the salon and co-wash their hair. It's unsanitary. Okay. So if you do that at home, that's fine, but make sure that you at some point are cleansing, because your scalp needs it. Scalp is still skin. Weekly may be a little bit much, because sometimes a lot of us really live in areas that have hard water, and our water is going to strip hair as well. So you put all that back in with a good moisturizer, which is the most important part of your regimen. That's helpful. But if you don't have access to a purifier on your home, or a filtration system on your home water system, then, you know, every other week is accept it. Everyone wants like some miracle product to get, like, you have hair like mine, but you want it to look like Tracy Ellis Ross, and I don't want to twist out. What product can I use? It's called genetics. And if you didn't get that set, then your hair won't do that. Shrinkage is real. It's a part of being natural, and I wish more people would accept it and just know that it's just a part of your natural life. You can stretch your hair with a braid or a twist, but short of that, and you can use products that say curl defining, you know, and they give you definition for a little bit, but I try to get people to embrace what their hair wants to do. That's always a starting point. What does my hair feel like doing today? Okay, that's what I'm doing. Use Naturally Nadine moisturizer and conditioner. That's what you do. I developed them with what we call 4C hair in mind, like the really tough stuff, because if it works for that, it'll work for the looser stuff. So I developed the conditioner to work with different hair types. There's one for type 3, one for type 4, and it will have that hair laid without using harsh chemicals. I have natural and organic ingredients in both conditioners, and the same thing for the moisturizer. In fact, the laboratory that I'm using only deals with safe products, and you have to be consistent with that. So whenever you shampoo, if that's bi-weekly, make sure that you are giving yourself a good conditioning treatment. Make sure that you are also following that up with a moisturizer that you can use daily or during the course of the week. And oil locks in moisture. Some people say my hair is so dry, I put a lot of oil on it. Well, that was very nice of you to bake it, but you know, in the sun or whatever. But oil locks in moisture. It is not a moisturizer.
Where would one find your products? How would we get our hands on it?
Well, you can call 410-585-8298 or go to the website. That works better. Naturallynadine.com. Naturally-nadine.com. If I could grab every woman or girl of African descent, or even not of African descent, it doesn't really matter. You might be Afro-Cuban, or you just might be European. I don't really care what you are. I would say love yourself and love your hair. The hair that God gave you. However it comes out of your scalp, love it. Nurture it, talk to it, you help it to grow. Love your hair and love you. Accept who you are.